Welcome to Prince George's County in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. This is a black county, 65% black. It's been that way for a long time, and it's growing. Prince George's County was founded on the proposition that black people are relentless victims of relentless white racism, so they needed their own place to live, especially black people from Washington, D.C., who worked in the federal government. So instead of taking a chance in Southeast Washington, D.C., a dark and dangerous chocolate neighborhood, they said, let's start afresh in Prince George's County. That's what Prince George's County is all about. Whatever the theory, whatever the experiment, Prince George's County is also a place with crime, black crime and violence wildly out of proportion. It's a place where black crime is excused, tolerated, ignored, denied, condoned, excused, encouraged, even lied about. Big talk. You want an example? Then look at this and give me a better explanation.
A man who police say raped and killed a 14-year-old on her way to school in Prince George's County is a free man today. Matthew Bethea was released from a facility in JESSUP, Maryland this morning. He served less than 9 years, leaving the family of Nia Owens in utter disbelief. Janice Park explains why this convicted killer was released so soon and the flaw with a Maryland law that led to his early freedom.
Take a look at Matthew Bethea, a convicted child killer now roaming the streets. He is free today, despite the agony that he has caused Nia Owens' mother.
What happened in the system that this was so terribly wrong? And I can't get my thinking around that, and I probably will never understand why this man is allowed to get out in less than 9 years.
More than 20 years ago, police say that Bethea raped and strangled the little girl to death. She was on her way to Northwestern High School in Prince George's County, and she was only 14. It would take over a decade to link Bethea to the crime through DNA. At the time of his conviction in 2010, he struck a deal where he took a plea for second-degree murder, but would have his sex offense thrown out despite damning DNA evidence. And here we are 22 years after the brutal murder, and Bethea is released because he took part in something called Maryland's diminution credit process. He originally was supposed to serve 15 years of a 30-year sentence, but he's free today because of good behavior.
They can take classes if they have good behavior, if they're in a work program. There are several different ways, and it's really to incentivize good behavior while confined.
And here's an interesting part of the case. Normally a rapist or anyone who sexually assaults a minor can't participate in diminution credits, but remember, Bethea had his sex offense thrown out.
So someone was murdered, killed, a 14-year-old child was killed, and her killer is only doing about 8.5 years. There's an injustice in that. There's an inherent injustice in that, and I will work with our legislature to try to correct that injustice.
Black killer, rapist, and killer in Prince George's County goes free after serving 8 years. That doesn't seem strange.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Doesn't seem strange. Somebody would get 8 years, get 80 years just for the rape part. Every time I see a story like this, I keep thinking of that story we've done a couple times over the last few months about how black women do not report rape in black neighborhoods. Huffington Post says it's because black women are trained to protect the race at all costs. Melissa Harris Perry says black women don't turn rapists in because they're afraid what will happen to their men once they are turned over to the white racist police. And now we have a rapist that walks free for 10 years before he is finally caught with DNA. And once we catch him, we just let him go. Again, after 8 years. And that doesn't seem strange. That doesn't seem to bear out the idea that crime is the new black entitlement. Yes, that's what's happening in Prince George's County. Right here. Nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to talk about it because everybody knows that would make the black kids angry.